Disclaimer. This video is for educational purpose only. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for, end quote, fair use, end quote, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, edu.
What's going on, guys? It's Foxton. I'm going to be going over what's going on with the Mig Switch. It's not really a tutorial or anything like that. It's more of public awareness and information. So, be back in a second. Okay, we're going to look at this little diagram I made here. So, let's say for the sake of argument, you went ahead and you backed up your game over here. You're going to wind up with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to wind up with 5 files. Okay, so the game we backed up is Shenmue 1. Okay, so let's say we want to do a Shenmue 2 that you borrowed from your neighbor. Okay, so you backed up your Shenmue 1, but you need to borrow the Shenmue 2 version. Okay, now don't worry about the name. I'm just using this as an example. Okay, so you need to grab the working files from Shenmue 1 and bring them over to Shenmue 2. Okay, first things first, these two files right here, card ID set and card UID, you don't need these. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be 100% offline. If you're going to ask, oh, can I be online and still do all the normal stuff and play online and be with other people? No. Everything has to be 100% offline to avoid the ban. So basically, if you want to borrow, ingredients from your neighbors but go online, you're going to get banned 100%. You have to stay offline 100%. Okay, so now this green file right here that I labeled green, that's called a certificate. So let's say you're going to grab Shenmue 2, right? And you don't have the certificate for Shenmue 2. Not a problem. What you want to do is you want to borrow the certificate from Shenmue 1 and you want to rename it to whatever it's called. So you're just going to rename it Shenmue 2, blah, 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 and you're going to use that certificate. You want to copy and paste the game information here. See where it says, for instance, where the Shenmue is? It says 1.0.0. All this information I pre-wrote in myself. You just want to make sure all the information matches. So just copy and paste it from Shenmue 2. Everything has to match for the ID numbers in here. So now that we borrowed the certificate from Shenmue 1 and renamed it to Shenmue 2, we're all set, ready to go on there. Okay, now here's the files that cannot be created, are the blue files. That's your game, obviously, and this is your bin. Basically, right here, the internal data .bin, this is basically your key, but not necessarily your key. I'm just calling it that. As of right now, there's no way to recreate this. So let's go back to Shenmue 2. Oh, okay. So for Shenmue 2, I already have the certification, which is in green, and I don't need the card ID, and I don't need the card ID set. Well, that's fine, but now I don't have the internal data that's blue. Well, then you can't use it. You need to get this from either your neighbor, or you need to have it your actual self. So just going over this again, the two files that are in red you do not need for Shenmue 2. If you don't have the green file here for Shenmue 2, you can borrow it from Shenmue 1 and rename it. For the initial, you have to have this. It's like part of the game. You can't run a borrowed game and not have the initial. Basically, these two are exactly the same, but as of right now, the initial cannot be created. I have no idea how big it is. It might be a small file. Also, I got some other questions. People have asked, can you take a .nsp or .nez file, I believe that's a file extension, or .so on and so forth, and convert it to a .xci. As of right now, this recording, it does not work, from what I've been reading online and from what I've seen in other videos on YouTube. So you need a one-to-one .xci. I'm not going to mention about anything else, but You either have the choice of getting a .xci or a .nsp most of the time. Now, if you're saying, can I take a utility and convert it with the updates and the DLC and the game itself and make my own custom package, as of right now that is not working. I don't have the card on hand to do a test for myself with it, but it came from a reliable source from different people talking about it in online and different chat rooms and everything, that customization files are not working. That's basically taking the game, the update, the DLC, putting it together and converting it to a .xci. That is not working at the moment. I'm sure that we're going to figure out this, how to get everything all set up and working and everything, but this is just a lowdown. As soon as I get the flash cart, I'm going to go ahead and do an unboxing, and I'll do a review on it, and I'll make a video guide on it. So I'm just throwing the information out there in case you're kind of on the fence or off the fence about buying this. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to say like and subscribe to Foxden. Catch me on the Facebook pages, in the private chat rooms. Catch me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. So anyway, guys, I'll see you next time, and have a great day.